Hi everyone, this video is going to be a tutorial of an Ariana Grande inspired makeup look. I'm not trying to copy any one specific look of hers, but took some elements of her makeup that she frequently has to create this look. So to start off, I'm just going to do a few prep steps like brushing through my brows with a spoolie and applying some moisturizer. Next, I'm going in with primer. I'm using the Milk Makeup Blur Stick here to fill in some pores and lines. Now I'm applying some concealer. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape here. It's extremely pigmented, so I try not to use too much. And then I'm just blending it out with a tapered brush. I also like to apply it on my eyelids as well, just to cover up the veins and discoloration that I have there. And because I really want to cover as much darkness as possible, I'm going in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in a very light shade to brighten my inner corners. After that, I'm just adding a bit of eye primer to my lids and blending it in with my finger. Time for brows. I start off with a brow gel first, and here I'm using Glossier's Boy Brow. I like to let that dry and set completely before I fill in my brows later. Here I'm going in with a second primer, the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, to add some glow to the places I'm going to be highlighting later. Next, I'm moving on to eyeshadow. I started off with a very light brown, cool-toned transition color. I used the shade Tease from the Naked 2 palette. I'm just going in little by little to slightly build up that color in my crease with a fluffy brush. After that was blended out, I picked up a tapered brush for a little more precision to add the next shade, which is called Downright from the ColourPop Give It To Me Straight palette. It's like a matte mauve brown color. I've noticed that Ariana Grande frequently has rosy and mauve eyeshadow colors. Now focusing more in the outer corner, I'm adding a third shade, which is a medium neutral brown, also from that same ColourPop palette. Moving on to the lid, here I'm using a more dense brush to add Satin Taupe by MAC, which is a shimmery taupe shade. And just to darken that up a bit, I'm barely tapping into the shade Forthright from that ColourPop palette. It's a rosy purple shade with a lot of shimmer in it, and I'm just being super light-handed to layer this color on top for some extra depth. Okay, time to fill in my brows. For this, I use a matte dark brown eyeshadow, and I'm trying to make my eyebrows a little bit closer to the shape of Ariana's by de-emphasizing my arch, since hers are pretty straight across. Back into eyeshadow, I'm using the Highlight Crushed Pearl from the Anastasia Gleam Glow Kit on my inner corners. And now I'm going to start on eyeliner. Ariana has black winged eyeliner on a lot of the time, although I've noticed it's not always a hard black line. Like in her music video for the song Breathe In, it looked like the black wing was really smoked out and soft rather than the classic harsh lines of black liquid liner. So instead of liquid or gel, I'm using a matte black eyeshadow on an angled brush to create this softer, more smoky winged liner look. To finish off the eyeshadow, I'm using the two matte shades I used in my crease mixed together on my lower lash line. Here I'm just adding some black pencil liner on my tight line, and I'm going to put a nude pencil liner on my waterline. Before I finish up the eyes, I'm going to do my face makeup. So to start that, I'm mixing my IT Cosmetics CC Cream and L'Oreal True Match Lumi Foundation just to get the right shade. And once it's applied to my face, I used a sponge to blend it in. I didn't want to have a super matte face, so I did apply a bit of translucent powder in the center of my face just to reduce some shine. Next, I'm moving on to contouring using Benefit's Hoola Bronzer, just applying a small amount right under my cheekbones and around the perimeter of my face, on my forehead, and underneath my jaw as well. After that, I went in with a more satin finish bronzer to bring some more warmth to my face, applying it to mostly the same areas where I contoured, but using a larger brush so the application is not as precise. I added a bit of blush too, but just the smallest amount of a nude blush color because this look is really more about the bronze than any blush color. Next, I applied a pretty intense highlight on my cheekbones with the same Anastasia highlight I used on the inner corners of my eyes. To finish up with the eyes, I added some Marc Jacobs mascara. You could add on lashes here if you'd prefer, but I was satisfied with just the mascara. Ariana is pretty much always in a nude lip, so I went with a brownish nude lip liner to line and fill in my lips. And after that, I added a creamy nude lipstick from Bite over the top. At the end here, I'm just adding some setting spray to make everything melt together and finish it all off. And that completes this Ariana Grande makeup look. Thanks for watching.